Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're learning something new while improving our English naturally. Instead of boring grammar rules, we use real stories, ideas, and conversations that help your brain get used to English in a natural way. The more you listen, the more your mind starts to recognize patterns, understand faster, and respond more naturally, just like how we learn in real life. So, relax, listen carefully, and trust the process. Little by little, your English will grow without feeling forced. So let us start. There is a chocolate bar that people were standing in line for hours to buy. Not a new iPhone, not concert tickets, not some limited edition sneaker that costs $1,000. A chocolate bar. People were flying to Dubai just to try it. Grocery stores in Europe were selling it for 5, 6, 7 times the original price. Videos of people cutting it open were getting tens of millions of views on social media. Grown adults were genuinely upset because they couldn't find it in their city. A chocolate bar. And the funny thing is, if you describe what's inside it, it doesn't sound that revolutionary. It's chocolate, filled with a green pistachio cream and a crunchy noodle-like pastry. That's basically it. Nothing that sounds like it should break the internet. And yet, it did. So today we're going to understand exactly what happened. How a chocolate bar went from a small chocolate shop in Dubai to a global obsession. What made it spread so fast? And what the whole story actually tells us about the world we live in today. First, let's talk about what this chocolate actually is. Because before anything else, you need to understand what people are eating and why it tastes the way it does. The chocolate is called the Can't Get Cafe of It bar. It was created by a company called Fix Dessert Chocolatier, based in Dubai. Fix is not a huge international company. It's not Cadbury or Lindt or one of those brands you see in every supermarket around the world. It started as a small local Dubai business making handcrafted chocolates. The kind of place where everything is made carefully, in small quantities, with attention to quality. The bar itself is a thick milk chocolate shell. When you break it open, and this is the part that became so famous, inside there is a filling made of 2 things. First, a pistachio cream. Not just any pistachio cream, a rich, smooth, deep green paste made from pistachios. Second, mixed into that cream is something called kataifi. Now, kataifi. Let's explain this clearly because most people outside the Middle East and parts of Europe have never heard of this word. Kataifi is a type of pastry. It looks like very thin, fine noodles or shredded wheat, almost like a bird's nest when you see it raw. It comes from traditional Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cooking. In the region, it's used to make a famous dessert called kunafa, also spelled kunafe, which is a sweet pastry dish made with this shredded dough soaked in sugar syrup, usually with cheese or cream inside. It's been eaten in countries like Lebanon, Egypt, Turkey, Jordan, and across the Arab world for hundreds of years. What Fixed Dessert Chocolatier did was take this traditional pastry, this very old, very regional ingredient, toast it in butter until it became golden and crunchy, mix it into pistachio cream, and put it inside a chocolate bar. The result is something that genuinely feels different from any chocolate you've tried before. The outside snaps when you break it, the way good chocolate does. Inside, it's creamy and rich from the pistachio. But then, there's this crunch, this unexpected, almost crispy texture from the kataifi that makes every bite feel like 2 or 3 different things happening at the same time. Texture is actually a big deal in food. When something has an interesting texture, when it surprises your mouth, you pay attention. You want to try it again. That sensory experience is part of why this chocolate became so addictive for people who tried it. Now let's talk about how it started spreading. Because the chocolate existed before it went viral. It didn't explode overnight from nothing. There was a moment, a specific moment. In 2023, a food content creator in Dubai, a woman named Maria Vehera, posted a video on TikTok of herself eating the fixed chocolate bar. She filmed the whole experience, unwrapping it, breaking it in half, showing the green filling, the crunch sound, her reaction. The video got tens of millions of views. That was the match that lit everything on fire. After her video, thousands of other people started posting their own videos trying the chocolate. Food reviewers, travel creators, regular people who happened to be in Dubai. The comment sections were full of people saying, "I need to try this. Where do I get this? Does this ship internationally?" But here's the problem. Fixed Dessert Chocolatier was a small operation. They were making these bars by hand, in limited quantities, only available in Dubai. You couldn't just order them online and get them delivered anywhere in the world. If you wanted one, you had to either be in Dubai or know someone who was. And that limitation, that difficulty of getting it, made people want it even more. This is a very human thing. When something is hard to get, we want it more than we would if it was sitting on every shelf everywhere. It feels special. It feels exclusive. The scarcity, meaning the fact that there wasn't enough of it, became part of the appeal. People started calling it the Dubai chocolate because, to most of the world, Dubai was the only place you could get it. Let's talk about Dubai for a second here, because the city itself played a role in why this story spread so fast. Dubai is one of the most visited cities on earth. Millions of tourists pass through every year. And many of those tourists are active on social media, posting photos, making videos, sharing their experiences online. Dubai has actually worked very hard over the years to be a city that looks incredible on camera. The buildings, the beaches, the luxury, the food scene. It's designed, consciously or not, to be photographed and shared. So when a unique, visually striking food product appears in Dubai, it has the perfect environment to spread. Tourists try it. Tourists film it. Tourists post it. Their followers at home watch and immediately feel two things: curiosity about the food and curiosity about Dubai itself. The chocolate and the city became linked in people's minds. Dubai chocolate wasn't just a name, it became an identity. Eating it felt like a piece of Dubai. For someone sitting in Germany or South Korea or Brazil who had never been to Dubai, seeing this chocolate on their screen was like a small window into a place that already felt glamorous and exciting to them. Then the copycats arrived. And this is actually an important part of the story. When something becomes this viral and this desired, and the original product is not available to most of the world, other businesses jump in to fill the gap. Chocolate makers in Belgium, Germany, the UK, Turkey, Egypt, and many other countries started making their own versions of the Dubai chocolate bar. Same idea: pistachio cream, kataifi, chocolate shell. Different brand, different packaging, different price. Supermarkets in Europe started stocking these versions. And here is where something interesting happened. Instead of killing the trend, the copycat versions actually kept it alive and spread it further. People who couldn't get the original fixed bar now had something they could actually buy. They tried the copies, They compared them to the original. They debated online. Which version is best? Is this as good as the real one from Dubai? Does anything compare to the original? That conversation kept the chocolate in people's feeds, in people's minds, in people's shopping baskets for months and months after the initial viral moment. The trend didn't die. It kept feeding itself. Some of the copycat versions became very popular in their own right. Belgian and German chocolate makers who made their own pistachio kataifi bars sold out repeatedly. In some countries, people were waking up early and going to the supermarket before it opened, just to be first in line when a new stock of Dubai chocolate arrived. Let's take a step back now, because the Dubai chocolate story is interesting on its own, but it also shows us something bigger about how trends work in the world today. Think about what made this specific thing travel so far, so fast. The first ingredient was the product itself. It had to be genuinely good, genuinely different. If the chocolate tasted average, no amount of social media would have saved it. People who tried it had a real reaction. They were surprised. They wanted to share that surprise. You can't manufacture that. The foundation has to be real. The second ingredient was the visual. Chocolate is already satisfying to watch. But this specific chocolate, the thick shell, the dramatic break, the bright green filling, the crunch, was almost perfectly designed for short video content without anyone planning it that way. The moment of breaking it open and seeing the inside became what people in social media call a reveal moment, a satisfying, curiosity-satisfying moment that makes people watch, rewatch, and share. The third ingredient was scarcity. The fact that you couldn't easily get it made the desire grow rather than shrink. It created a challenge. Can I find this? Can I get my hands on one? And people love a challenge, especially a delicious one. The fourth ingredient was identity. Calling it Dubai chocolate connected it to a place that people already had feelings about. Dubai is a city that represents luxury, ambition, and the exotic to many people around the world. The chocolate borrowed some of that feeling. Eating it felt like more than just eating chocolate. It felt like being connected to something. And the fifth ingredient, the one that tied everything together, was the moment. Social media, especially TikTok, had by 2023 become a machine for spreading food content at a speed that was simply not possible before. One video from one person in Dubai reached people in 50 countries overnight. That kind of reach is generally new in human history. A small chocolate shop in one city would have taken years to build an international reputation through traditional methods. On TikTok, it happened in weeks. Fixed Dessert Chocolatier, the original company, went from a small local business to an internationally known brand in a matter of months. They had to dramatically increase their production. They launched shipping options. They opened new locations. The founder, Sarah Hamouda, became a name that food media around the world wanted to interview. She has talked about how overwhelming the whole experience was. Her team was not prepared for the level of demand that hit them almost overnight. In a way, going viral is not always a simple gift. It can also be a pressure that is very hard to manage when you are a small operation. But there is no question that it changed the trajectory of her business completely. A company that might have stayed local and small for years became global in months. Today, the Dubai chocolate trend has calmed down from its peak craziness. You can find versions of it in many countries now without much difficulty. The lines are gone. The panic buying has stopped. But the original fix bar from Dubai still sells strongly. The brand is established now. People who visit Dubai still put it on their list of things to try. Food tourists, people who travel specifically to experience food from different places, include it in their Dubai itinerary. And somewhere in a kitchen in Dubai, the team at Fix is probably working on the next thing, because one viral product doesn't build a lasting business on its own. The question after lightning strikes is always, what do you do next? So, the next time you see something going completely crazy on social media, a food, a product, a place, something that everyone suddenly needs to have, it's worth stopping and asking what's actually driving it. Is the product genuinely special? Probably yes. At the foundation. Is scarcity making people want it more? Almost certainly. Is the visual doing half the work? Usually. Is the place or the story attached to it adding something emotional that goes beyond the product itself? Very often. The Dubai chocolate wasn't just chocolate. It was a crunch, a color, a city, a moment, and a feeling, all wrapped in one bar. And that is worth a lot more than chocolate. And that brings us to the end of today's session. Most people quit because progress feels invisible. They practice for a few days, don't see results, and stop. But fluency doesn't work like that. It grows quietly, in the background, through repetition, patience, and discipline. So, if you're still here, that means you're doing something most people won't. You're staying consistent, and that is exactly what creates real change. Keep going. One day, the English that feels difficult today will feel natural, and you'll realize this small daily habit changed everything. If this lesson helped you, a like or subscription means a lot. I'll see you in the next one.